Blades and knives. Standard issue weapons like metal knives, machetes, and short swords are the most common tools used by low-level delvers. They are easy to carry, require no training with relics, and are reliable for everyday survival tasks. These blades are mainly used for cutting ropes, setting traps, gutting monsters, or fighting off smaller threats in the upper layers. For example, Rico often carries a basic survival knife during her journey, and it's enough for close-range utility, though useless against stronger threats. Reggie's Incinerator. Reg's main weapon is built directly into his body. His right arm can transform into a cannon called the Incinerator. This weapon fires a highly concentrated energy blast capable of incinerating almost anything in its path. It has been shown to destroy massive monsters, burn through dense environments, and even remove the effects of the curse temporarily for anything caught in its blast radius. Its power level is absurd compared to anything else seen in the Abyss. However, the drawback is severe. After firing it once, Reg becomes unconscious for approximately 2 hours, completely defenseless. Because of this, the Incinerator is reserved for emergencies where there are no other options. Ozen's strength-enhancing gloves. Ozen, a White Whistle Delver, possesses almost superhuman strength thanks to a combination of her modified body and the use of relic-enhanced gloves. These gloves are designed to amplify her physical power, allowing her to lift boulders, crush living creatures with her hands, and break through solid rock without tools. During her sparring match with Reg, she easily overpowers him despite his mechanical strength. She does not rely on conventional weapons, instead using her fists and overwhelming brute force to dominate opponents. These gloves are likely custom made and possibly enhanced by relic technology, though not classified as major relics themselves. Bondrude's tail blades and weaponized body Bondrude is outfitted with a mechanical tail fitted with multiple blade-like extensions. These can strike with great speed, wrap around targets, or pierce through armor. The tail is highly flexible and deadly, allowing him to attack from behind or at odd angles. In addition to the tail, his body contains built-in firearms and syringe-based tools, including ones that inject or extract bodily fluids. Since Bondrude's consciousness is tied to the Zohoaholic relic, he can transfer between bodies, which allows him to be incredibly reckless with his fighting style. Even if one body is destroyed, he continues fighting with another. This turns his entire existence into a weaponized system, unrelenting, tactical, and nearly impossible to kill. Nanachi's traps and needle weapons. Nanachi doesn't rely on brute strength or direct combat. Instead, they use their deep knowledge of the Abyss's ecosystem to build effective traps and use precise tools. Nanachi sets up snare traps, pitfall systems, and tripwires to slow or redirect enemies. In close quarters, they wield a sharp metallic needle weapon to puncture or stab enemies. Nanachi also uses chemicals and poisons in combat, sometimes applying them to traps or enemies. Their strategic use of terrain and mental manipulation makes them dangerous even without traditional weapons. Fapuda's natural weaponry. Fapuda is a living biological weapon. Her claws, teeth, and agility allow her to tear through monsters and structures with little resistance. She doesn't use tools or armor. Her body is her only weapon, and it's enough. Her regenerative ability also makes her nearly unkillable in battle. She can jump long distances, move faster than the human eye, and fight entire armies of creatures without slowing down. Her rage-driven combat style enhances her power even further, especially when she's protecting something important like Iramui or her homeland. She is one of the few beings in the Abyss who doesn't need relics to fight on par with White Whistles. White Whistle support, relics used as weapons. Some relics, while not designed as weapons, are weaponized by their users. Ozen carries the Unheard Bell and a giant relic box that she uses to transport or potentially trap things. The box, which preserves the contents inside without decay, could theoretically be used to imprison or kill enemies if misused. Bondrude is the most aggressive example. He uses relics like the cartridges, which hold live humans, to protect himself from the curse and give him massive power boosts. These relics aren't weapons by nature, but become part of deadly systems through the creativity and cruelty of their users. Custom guns and bombs. In the deeper layers, some delvers and researchers carry custom-made firearms, including pistols, rifles, and bomb launchers. These are rare and often experimental, built to handle the kinds of monsters found in the 5th layer and below. Bondrude's team is shown using firearms in combat during the Ido front arc. However, guns have limitations. They run out of ammo quickly, are heavy to carry, and aren't as effective as some relics. Still, for organized teams, they provide reliable range and damage against medium-threat creatures. Spargmos. Spargmos is one of the rarest and most devastating relics. It's used by Faputa in the 6th layer and seems to be tied directly to her power and rage. The relic acts as a release mechanism for her destructive potential, scattering everything around her into pieces. It's unclear how much of the weapon's effect is from the relic itself versus Faputa's innate power, but when combined, the destruction is enormous. It's a highly situational but apocalyptic force once activated. The Zohoaholic. This is Bondrude's core relic. While it's not a weapon in the traditional sense, it turns him into a self-replicating combatant. The Zohoaholic allows his consciousness to jump between hosts, making him effectively immortal as long as he has backup bodies. This allows him to take extreme risks in battle, charging into fights with no concern for death, experimenting on himself during combat, and using his own bodies as traps. The ability to infinitely respawn changes how he approaches every fight and gives him one of the biggest advantages of any character.